Hi, so I'm Phil, and I'll probably be going by Pirafu for this EP. I'd like to make a chiptune EP, and I'd like you to help. So here's a little bit more about that. A pseudo chiptune EP, that's important, or a quasi chiptune EP, that's very important. So, my name is Philip Sharp, and you might know me from, well, chances are, somewhere in real life. I don't have an online following, except I get a lot of SoundCloud plays in Turkey for some reason. So, if you're one of my fans in Turkey, hi, thank you very much, it's super flattering. But what I'm endeavoring to do is take all of these video game noises that I've sampled over the ages, and all these video games and video game hardware that I've collected over the ages, and turn it into a not-so-chiptuney, kind of filth pop, borderline industrial kind of EP. One song of which is basically just a synth pop song, My Nintendo Loves Me, you've already seen. So there's a lot of chiptune stuff out there that's very polite, and it all kind of sounds very pure. Me, I'm more interested in filth. I mean, if you think of, like, say, an RF adapter and the signal that it transmitted, there's a lot of noise in the signal. I like noise. I like things that aren't super pretty. So I'd be closer to, well, you saw the Nitzareb sticker on my car, I'd be closer to a chiptune Nitzareb than I would be to, say, good old-fashioned, rendition of an NES or Game Boy song. Also, if you saw in my collection, I have a lot of different consoles I'd like to try to work into this somehow. So, for example, King of Fighters damage sounds as percussion, rather than just white noise hisses and bleeps and such. So I think there's a lot of potential for some weird sonic textures in this, especially if we get into the noise of the whole thing. So unfortunately, I've just unpacked into my new apartment. But basically what I've got is a pretty decent PC rig, a pretty decent MIDI controller. Many of my vocals will just be done on this blue mic, although I also have access to a Yeti that I will probably use. And of course, there is all the video games behind me. And some toy computers, some toy keyboards as well that I'll probably use, and a mop. If I can figure out how to get the mop in there, then I deserve some serious credit, I think. Lyrically, it's pretty dorky, actually. All the songs have video game allusions in them or video game themes. One song, for example, is very clearly written about Bomberman. Other songs just pay homage to different video signals and such. So yes, I will be singing on actually all of the tracks probably. And no, I'm not going to sing for you right now because you could probably hear I'm half missing my voice. However, I'm a big karaoke junkie, so that's why. There are clips of me singing on my SoundCloud and on the Kickstarter page that hopefully you checked out and hopefully you didn't find to be too offensive. But yeah, my dream really is to be a singer. So why not take this hobby of mine, classic and import video games, to provide the backdrop for me to pursue my dream of singing. That's kind of where this is going. Will I have help? Well, first of all, yes, from Pixel, my cat. Pixel, say hello. Pixel! You gonna meow for us? He's clearly not interested. But he's looking the wrong way to be admiring my video game collection. Pixel, why aren't you looking at the cool stuff? Cats, man. Cats. Oh, of course, now he's batting at the camera. Get it, Pixel! Get it! If anything, fund me for my cat. I have to feed my cat. I even sleep in a classic Nintendo blanket. That ought to be a good sign, right? Come on! So, as far as swag goes, I like swag. I would like to make a lot of it and spread it around. My stretch goal for swag is some custom colored nice and thick vinyl. My dream is to have been pressed on vinyl. So if we get to my ultimate stretch goal, the top 100 backers will be receiving nice, pretty vinyl of the EP, plus everything else, of course, that they would have ordinarily gotten by backing. I'm thinking about doing something really cool for the top backers, like sending them stuff in gutted Neo Geo boxes or something like that. Not sure whether they would appreciate that, but I think that would be a pretty cool means of delivering the final product. Will the Virtual Boy make an appearance in the EP? That's a very good question. The answer is probably. So, of course, you can't miss that. One piece of swag that needs a bit of explanation is the book. Apart from writing music, I like to just write, period, both academically and writing just for my own self-edification. So I've always wanted to make sort of a coffee table book that includes some of my weird graphic design, along with some of my academic writing and some of my not-so-academic writing, just, of course, the lyrics to the album and some other lyrics that won't make it on the album, and poems and observations and tweets and such. So, if I get a certain number of high-level backers, I'll be making these books using lulu.com, and I would really like to distribute those. I think that would be super awesome for people to have like a nice physical book to go with this. You guys could probably imagine that I'm on the side of still buying physical products, especially when it comes to games. Sure, I download from the PlayStation Network and such, but there's nothing quite like having a cartridge in your hands and opening up the manual and smelling it, and this is going to turn X-rated really quickly if I'm not careful, so I think I'll cool it. So what you're not seeing is some of my Atari computer stuff, like Atari 2600s and Atari 800 XLs that I sometimes have programmed sounds on. My Commodore 64 box you saw, but I've got some other stuff that's tucked away. Oh, and my office. My office at work has a lot more games in it that I could potentially use for this that just aren't here at my humble apartment. Oh, look at this. I've been trying to figure out how to sample this thing for a while now. So really all it does is make mechanical noises, but that could be cool, right? Be very EBM, I think. So both Pixel, hi Pixel, and I would really appreciate it if you back the project. I've never tried anything Kickstarter-y before, no crowdsourcing, this is news to me. And I don't have a huge existing fan base like some of the other players in this arena. So I'm hoping that I can maybe impress some of you and get your backing. But I would be so flattered to have any backing, no matter the amount. If there are any further questions about the project, I'll be happy to answer vlog style like this. And I look forward to seeing what happens with this project. I think it's super inspiring, the possibility that this could even happen. So if it does get funded, I can promise you my best efforts to get you an amazing product. So thanks very much.
You gonna say goodbye, Pixel? Okay. Cats will be cats.